Good evening. Stefan was on assignment today. We begin tonight with new developments in a fatal collision in Barrhaven. 19-year-old Xander Wright has been charged after a crossing guard was struck and killed near an elementary school. Police say 55-year-old Peter Clark was hit while helping students get to class Monday morning before the driver fled the scene. CTV's Caitlin Wilson has more.
Xander Wright made his first appearance in court today. He's been charged with failure to stop after an accident causing death following a collision that killed a Barrhaven crossing guard. The arrest comes one day after 55-year-old Peter Clark was hit at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kenneville Drive around 8:20 Monday morning. He was taken to hospital but died from his injuries. Police have said they were looking for the driver who fled the scene in what was described as a dark-colored pickup truck. On Tuesday, multiple police cars could be seen outside a home in the area near Mary Honeywell Elementary School, where a black Toyota Tundra was parked in the driveway. Clark's death sparking an outpouring of emotion across Ottawa, with flags flying at half-mast. Residents in the area tell CTV News speeding has long been a concern. Here's what Mayor Mark Sutcliffe said earlier today.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
And later this afternoon, Sutcliffe saying on social media he spoke with Clark's wife, Amanda, sharing his condolences on behalf of himself and the city. He says Amanda told him how much he loved his work and seeing people every day. Wright is expected back in court Friday.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
As Canadians struggle with housing affordability, the federal and provincial governments are hoping to drive down costs, announcing plans today to scrap the HST on all new homes, not only for just first-time home buyers, but for everyone. CTV's Austin Lee explains.
We will be rebating the full HST for all new homes, no matter if you're a first-time buyer, second, or a 10-time buyer, you're getting the HST deducted.
It's an announcement that's being well received by many.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new home sales in Ontario up to $1 million. Take, for example, a $500,000 home. That's a $65,000 rebate. A rebate that was previously only for first-time buyers, now available for all.
This tax relief will last from April the 1st this year to the end of March next year.
The province vowing to cover its 8% portion of the HST, with the federal government covering 5%. But federal legislation still needs to pass for the plan to become a reality.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make. Ottawa saw about 3,000 new home sales last year. We want to see easily about double that.
Jason Berggraf with the Greater Ottawa Home Builders Association says the plan will also promote more market activity for housing of all kinds.
Say someone's in a townhome now, they can't necessarily afford to move up into a bigger home for their growing family. Now they'll be able to afford that bigger home. They move out of that one, and then that frees up their townhome for, say, the person who's living in an apartment or that first-time buyer.
And while Wednesday's announcement is welcome news for many, there is still an appetite to make things easier for those hoping to enter the market.
I would love to see more tax incentives or breaks for first-time home buyers, not just on new homes.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
All right, let's take a break now. Take a look at our first check on the weather. A live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. We're sitting at -2 degrees here in Ottawa. CTV's Jackie Paris standing by with our first check on weather. Jackie.
Well, we had a little bit of precipitation moving through, some flurries, especially around Pembroke just past the midnight hour. And overnight, we could see some rain moving through, including Brockville. So 7 a.m. it might be a wet one down by the Seaway. However, parts of Ottawa as well as the Valley, anticipating mainly cloudy skies. It's not until we get to the evening around 5 o'clock that we could see more rainfall in eastern Ontario. Ottawa might even miss it depending on how the wind moves. Temperature-wise, we are kicking things off about 1 degree, so much warmer than what we have seen all week long. We're getting to a daytime high about 7-8 degrees, the warmest that we will see for this week. But again, the rain anticipated for the afternoon. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackie. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a litre since the end of February, but there was some relief at the pumps today here in Ottawa, and that was following a significant drop in prices. And the average price dropped to about $1.66 a litre this morning, with some stations spotted selling gas as low as $1.58 this evening. However, the relief will be short-lived, with prices expected to rise 5 to 7 cents a litre tomorrow. Oil experts say the price reflects what happened in the market 2 days ago, and it's linked to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
Now again, the price of gas expected to go up again tomorrow, but with talks of a potential ceasefire ongoing, gas experts also say it could drop by 6 or 7 cents on Friday. An East End Deli was open for business today despite an overnight break-in at the business. Someone broke into the Dumichel Meat and Deli on Donald Street overnight. The owner says the front door was smashed, but nothing was stolen.
This time they weren't looking for food. They were looking for some cash, which we know better than to keep anything out and in the store overnight. So they looked around, they thought about getting a bit of food, and then when the alarm went off, they ran out the door.
The owners are asking anyone who may have seen something overnight to reach out to Dumichel Meat and Deli or to the police. Now to new details about a fire in the Byward Market earlier this week. Police officials say the cause was an improperly discarded cigarette. And as CTV's Katie Griffin tells us, investigators say that cigarette fell through a trapdoor, falling onto combustibles in the building's basement.
This was the scene Monday night. The fire started in the basement of the 2-story building that houses Beans and Barrels Cafe and Lounge. Because of incredibly high carbon monoxide levels, fire investigators couldn't get into the building to determine the cause until the next day. They discovered unusual fire patterns outside a trap door and say a cigarette fell right through, adding that this blaze could have been much worse.
Thank goodness to the 911 caller that actually called it in, because it was roughly around 9:30ish at night. So if it wasn't for her call, if this was a little later, probably would have lost potentially the building. Operations did an amazing job of not only containing the fire to the unit, but containing the fire to the actual point of origin.
A number of businesses sustained smoke damage and remain closed, some for a few days, but others, it will be a lot longer.
We're actually not allowed in because they're waiting to assess the condition of the building. So we've pivoted. We've been working at home regularly ever since prior to the pandemic, frankly, starting with the first big fire when Victoria Trattoria caught on fire. So we're ready for this.
Improperly discarded smoking materials is one of the top 2 preventable causes of a fire in Ottawa, along with unattended cooking. Now, no one was hurt. Damage is estimated around $100,000.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
A local member of parliament says there is overwhelming opposition among his constituents to the proposed Alto high-speed rail plan.
I sent a survey to everyone in my community. I've so far had 1,037 responses, with 95% of people opposing this route traveling through our community and 89% opposing this project overall.
The proposed route would include a section in the Leeds and Grenville area, but MP Michael Barrett says there has been no public consultation in his community. The plan is to run high-speed trains between Toronto and Quebec City, with several stops along the way, including Ottawa and Montreal. The proposed route runs through Eastern Ontario farmland, sparking concerns from several communities about land expropriation. Tonight, the Greek community in the capital celebrating the 205th anniversary of Greek independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1821. The Greek embassy hosting the event with over 400 guests in the Scotiabank Grand Hall at the National Gallery. The Greek ambassador was on hand to welcome everyone, and CTV's Vashi Kapellos was MC for this special evening.
Canada and Greece, as well as European Union and other partners, we share the same values. And as I keep saying, anything can change, not our values. We stand by our values, and upon those, we build the future for the future generations.
Well, Greeks have a rich heritage here in Canada dating back over 2 centuries. Now, with almost 300,000 strong across the country, people of Greek descent have been leaders in many fields and have given back to the community for decades.
Route 30 is the most unreliable bus I've ever seen, to be honest.
Why?
It just never comes. It never comes on time. It never comes. Sometimes it skips 1 or 2 trips.
Coming up, we go for a ride as East End commuters are calling out one of OC Transpo's key bus routes in Orleans. A sure sign of spring, the Quyon ferry is 2026 season. It's set to kick off tomorrow. The first ferry launches at 5:30 a.m. The cable ferry runs on the Ottawa River between Quyon, Quebec and Fitzroy Harbour here in Ottawa. It's the largest electric ferry on the river and has been operating for more than 100 years. Yes, milder temperatures, we can enjoy that. Again, I'm enjoying it here as well, but will they stick around for much longer? Jackie Perez standing by with your extended forecast. Jackie.
Well, overnight temperatures pretty mild. We're going down to about 0. Few flurries and showers again into that overnight, but tomorrow morning anticipate mainly cloudy skies for at least here in Ottawa. 8 degrees is the anticipated daytime high, but by the afternoon we could start to see rain moving through. We are seeing early forecasts between 5 to 7 millimeters of rain, but this could change depending on the wind. Now taking a look at tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, still cool around Pembroke, Ottawa's Cornwall, sitting around the freezing mark, slightly warmer down by the lake, so Kingston and Trenton sitting around 4 degrees, mainly clear skies as we look towards Montreal and Mont-Tremblant, but temperatures sitting around -4. Tomorrow's daytime highs, well, those along the seaway a lot luckier. Double-digit temperatures could reach 10 degrees, about 9 in Brockville and Cornwall, 5 degrees in Petawawa, as well as Pembroke. So again, we are anticipating a wet weather day for tomorrow, but by Thursday into the midnight hour, it's likely going to clear where it will open up to more sunshine, and that is what our Friday is looking like for the rest of the evening. And as we get to our 7-day forecast, take a look at these temperatures. -2 for Friday, so take advantage of the 7-degree weather that we do see for Thursday. It's going to maintain below 0 for Saturday, -1 the anticipated daytime high. But by Sunday, we are anticipating 5 degrees, which is what we should see this time of year, and lots of sunshine. And this will carry us into Monday, where the daytime high is 9 degrees.
Thank you, Jackie. As we continue our coverage on CTV Ottawa of challenging commutes across the city, traffic congestion and an unreliable Route 30 from OC Transpo in Orleans has made for a familiar frustration every day. CTV's Leah LaRocque has more.
Since our commute story aired, we heard from listeners, viewers, and public transit users, and one route that routinely came up was Route 30. It starts at Millennium Park and Ride here in Orleans. It goes all the way to Blair. So I decided to give it a try.
728?
28, yeah, I think.
I'm traveling with Councillor Catherine Kitts and Sarah Crema from her office.
I need to be somewhere for 9, and I'm nervous. And I think that's the experience of commuters in Ottawa.
We start on Brian Coburn Boulevard.
Good morning.
And the 728 bus is already late.
About 6 minutes late, so not as bad as it gets sometimes.
The 30 is a critical route for commuters in Orleans who travel down Brian Coburn, Jeanne d'Arc, and Highway 174. Along the way, we meet Dominique Marchand, who takes the 30 all of the time.
Route 30 is the most unreliable bus I've ever seen, to be honest.
Many students use this route to get to school, but as traffic continues to back up, the bus gets even more behind.
What time is the bus supposed to come?
7:44.
And what time did it come?
7:52.
Congestion is a major obstacle for this route.
It should take 30 minutes to get to Blair. We are now 7:56 and we're still on Jeanne d'Arc, not even hitting St. Joseph yet in Orleans, so we're nowhere near Blair.
Just after 8:10, we get to Blair Station.
We have a choice where we could take Line 1, but another option for Orleans commuters is to get on the E1, which is an express bus, and we're running right now because we really want to get on it.
Morning.
Arlene Morrison doesn't even attempt to go on Line 1. opting always for the shuttle bus that goes from Blair to downtown.
We're still a little bit behind time, but I'm at least earlier than if I was on the train, but still late for work.
It's regular highway traffic today, but it can get pretty jammed. I arrive at Mackenzie King Bridge at 8:27, and it's a quick walk to City Hall.
You beat us.
I beat you.
I beat the councillor by a few minutes.
Unfortunately, the solutions are these bigger infrastructure solutions. So, Brian Colburn is one lane in each direction. It needs to be 4 lanes so that the buses have space to pull over and pick passengers up.
But commuters say they just want the Route 30 to reflect what actually happens on the roads.
It's hit and miss. Sometimes I'm on time for work, sometimes I'm not.
OC Transpo is trying to do something to improve in the immediacy bus reliability, like getting more buses on the roads. But the fleet is aging, there is a backlog of maintenance, and still a shortage of mechanics. Leah LaRock, CTV News.
We just put our heads down and worked hard, and there's not a lot of teams like that.
All right, after the break, playoff fever has hit Ottawa. The 67 start the OHL playoffs on Friday. And the Ottawa Senators, they've moved into a playoff spot themselves. We'll have more of the playoff fever hitting the capital next. Well, you'll soon be able to fly from Ottawa to Hamilton. Porter Airlines announcing it will launch daily service between the Ottawa Airport and Hamilton on June 22nd. The hour-long flight will run once in the morning and once in the afternoon. Porter continues to expand service through the Ottawa Airport with flights to Sudbury, Windsor, and Kelowna starting next month. Well, hockey playoff excitement has hit the National Capital Region as the Ottawa 67s and Gatineau Olympiques prepare for their first-round playoff matches this Friday. The Ottawa Senators, they're not there yet, but they're pushing hard for the postseason as they're one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now. CTV's Dylan Dyson has more on the excitement felt right across the city.
It's Yakimchuk, walks in, scores!
The Ottawa Senators now have the attention of all NHL fans. A spectacular outing from a rookie call-up Tuesday night. And finally, some reward for a team pushing hard for the playoffs. A win over the team they were chasing puts the Sens in a playoff spot for now, making for an amazing time for hockey fans in the capital as both area junior teams already have playoffs locked down. The bleach blonde hair, the look of champions or hopeful champions in Ottawa.
Just a tradition in Ottawa. I think all the past teams that have won the OHL and won the Memorial Cup here in Ottawa have bleached their hair. So I thought it was a good thing to do as a group. It brings us close together.
The Ottawa 67s unveiled their new look Wednesday at City Hall as the team gathered to raise their flag ahead of its first round OHL playoff matchup against Eastern Ontario rivals Kingston.
These are young men, many of them from our community, who are representing our city. We're very proud of them. They've had a great year this year. They've exceeded expectations. They've made the playoffs.
Coming into this season, the team admits expectations were low. Now Ottawa is one of the favorites heading into the OHL playoffs.
Early in the year, we started off with, I think, a 7-game win streak and then a 5-game losing streak. And at that point, it was like, which one are we? And we came right back and went on another winning streak. And I think that point, which was about the middle of October, we could see that we had some real potential.
Right from the start, we just put our heads down and worked hard. And there's not a lot of teams like that.
Belle passe là-dessus, il est seul. Et le but!
Across the river, the Gatineau Olympiques also preparing for the first round of the QMJHL playoffs against the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies. And while NHL fans wait and hope Ottawa is in the mix, junior hockey fans have faith this Ottawa team can go the distance.
We can do it. We can stay out of the penalty box. We can do it. It makes me feel proud of them. They have worked for it hard enough, and they deserve it.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
I can tell you I've probably been through a few potholes with my bad car because the muffler is now loose.
Well, coming up, Ottawa's pothole patching machines are hitting the streets. We'll take a look at the Python 5000, tackling tens of thousands of potholes right across the city.
Every year, an average of 500 children and youth are in cancer treatment at CHEO. Join CTV and Move 100 as we support oncology patients and their families at CHEO by participating in the CN Cycle for CHEO on Sunday, May 3rd. The routes start and finish at the Canadian War Museum with a 15, 35, 70K CN Century Ride, 2 and 5K walk. Get active with a group of friends, family, or a team of colleagues. For more information, visit cncycle.ca.
A supportive housing project in Ottawa for people living with substance use disorders will not bear Matthew Perry's name. Now, the project on Byng Drive was originally meant to be called Matthew Perry House in honor of the late Hollywood actor who called Ottawa home. The project is still going forward with support from the Royal, Ottawa Community Housing and Salis, but it will have a new name. After winter that saw dozens of freeze-thaw cycles, potholes are popping up by the thousands. And the city has 2 secret weapons slithering down the streets to rapidly fill all those road holes. CTV's Tyler Fleming takes a look at the Python 5000.
Come spring, there's a pesky problem that always pops up. It's actually more of a dip in the road, potholes, and no one likes them.
Nobody.
Some are avoidable.
Just keep your eyes on the road.
Others not so much.
I've probably been through a few potholes with my bad car because the muffler is now loose.
There are some notorious bad roads.
Like parts of Bank Street. After a winter which saw dozens of freeze-thaw cycles, ice and water heaves and loosens pavement. That's how the hole is made. And this is how some are fixed. Taking a bite out of bad roads, the Python 5000 slithering down streets, hunting potholes for a seriously rapid patch.
They're typically filling hundreds of potholes in a shift.
Instead of buying, the city says it's renting 2 units, steering clear of the high maintenance cost. While dozens of crews are out continuing to fill potholes the traditional way, the self-contained Python 5000 works best at tackling busy roads.
It allows us to really focus on specific areas, really our problem spots where we want to limit our staff that are out working on the roads. With that one-person operation, they do not have to get out of the vehicle, so it's much safer working through intersections on higher speed roadways where the risk is higher for staff working on the road.
Each year, the city fills around 200,000 potholes so far this winter, over 57,000. Residents can help the city find those potholes too by reporting them online.
Over 12 tons of asphalt's been dumped in 3 days already, so we need your help. Tell us where the potholes are. Let's get them filled up.
The Pythons and plenty of crews will be out all season picking off potholes one by one, helping to make for a smoother ride.
The city is always working hard, so I'm not one to blame. It's the situation in Ottawa, right?
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
See for yourself. Hang on. There we go. Hello.
All right, when we come back, the latest film in the Lord of the Rings franchise gets a famous co-writer and developer. We'll have those details next, plus Jackie has a look at your wake-up weather. Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, still sitting at -2 degrees here in Ottawa. And we'll have one more check on the weather. We'll check it again with Jackie Perez. Jackie.
All right, kicking things off about -1 to about the freezing mark for tomorrow. Still a slight chance of some showers moving through and a risk of freezing drizzle, but it is warming up to about 7 degrees for a Thursday. Keep the umbrella close by, though, because in the evening, in that evening commute, we could see some rain moving through. Friday, daytime high, going to cool down to about -2, but we're going to enjoy the sunshine, so it may feel a lot warmer than the anticipated -2. It isn't until Sunday and Monday that we will see temperatures above the freezing mark and more sunshine.
Well, thank you, Jackie. A familiar face on late night TV will help in the creative process behind the scenes with the latest Lord of the Rings movie. Peter Jackson, director of the blockbuster franchise, making the announcement on social media.
We've got a very special partner that we're working with, and you can see for yourself. Hang on. There we go. Hello.
Late night host and comedian Stephen Colbert will co-write and develop a new Lord of the Rings film. Now, the film will be the second of 2 new upcoming films in the fantasy series. Colbert says the next installment will be based on parts of Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Rings, those that didn't make it into the original movies. Definitely looking forward to that. I've seen every one of the movies. I've seen the extended director specials as well, and all of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Absolutely love that entire series. Well, that's CTV News for Wednesday, March the 25th. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.